Ash and I first went to Nicaragua in 1984 with Witness for Peace, and he was completely captivated by the country and by what was going on there. The next year he led a Witness for Peace delegation, and we went down regularly with different groups of friends. And Mike Boudreau was one of the first Plymouth State students who went down with him. Ash formed Compas de la Primavera to give shape to the delegations that were going and to continue to cement relationships with that neighborhood with which he completely bonded. And over the years, different groups went with him.
Hi, my name is Sylvia and I live in Vermont, and I first got involved with Compas de Nicaragua actually when it was Compas de Primavera. It had just formed. I think it was the second trip that Ash Ames had planned, and I remember being so struck with the group. They lived with community members, was very integrated into the community. You know, like many people who come to Nicaragua or come to any projects in Latin America, really, I went there thinking that I was going to be giving a lot. And of course, what ends up happening, what had happened to me was I ended up receiving so much. I didn't realize how much, how little community I really had in my own life. And I found that in the people of Nicaragua. You know, so many times we think of wealth as money. And what I learned there was that you can have a wealth of love and community and connection that sometimes we don't have when there's more money and more resources to keep us isolated. I went to Nicaragua with Compas many times after that first trip. I think the first trip I went back to, we put together a tree planting trip and got kids involved in the community and interested adults, but it was the kids that really responded to a lot of it. And we planted trees throughout the little saplings throughout the whole community. And, you know, years later, I remember hearing that Anna, who is co-director of Compas, actually was one of the kids that we worked with, and I never remembered that when I was doing that work way back in the 90s. Those trees are flourishing and huge now. It's wonderful.
Hola, soy Ana Narváez, vivo en Managua, en el barrio La Primavera. Pues yo he trabajado por mi comunidad desde que estoy bastante joven, de más o menos 15 años. Trabajé con una fundación llamada Fundación Augusto César Sandino, luego con una organización de mujeres llamada MUFRA. Yo recuerdo cuando venían los grupos de Compas y participé en algunos de ellos, en algunas de sus actividades.
I was on Mike's first trip, so got to know Mike and see him get really excited about Nicaragua and Primavera, and look what developed from that, you know.
Mike, of course, has built Compas de la Primavera into an amazing organization of which Ash was incredibly proud.
I'm Mike Boudreau, and I'm the Executive Director of Compas de Nicaragua. I first met Ash Eames in 1995 while studying at Plymouth State University, and Ash's passion for his work in Nicaragua really inspired me to travel there the first time in January of 1996. And it is amazing to think that it's been 20 years since my first trip to Nicaragua and 25 years since Ash founded Compas. That first trip really was a life-changing kind of experience for me, and I knew that my life would never be the same. I traveled back to Nicaragua with Ash several times in the late 1990s and began to try and support Compas in different ways.
Hi, my name is Brenda Kimball, and I'm Mike Boudreau's mom. When Michael first started at Compas, he did slideshows at the library with hardly anybody showing up. After years of dedication and hard work, Compas has grown and grown. We have been down to Nicaragua several times. The people are so friendly and the country is beautiful.
Hi, my name is Melinda Tubai and Mike Boudreau happens to be my brother. I want to first wish Compas a happy 25th anniversary. It's a privilege that I'm able to be a part of this through my brother. I've seen all the good that it's done both in Nicaragua and also here in the United States. I've been a part of the dance tour many times and been able to meet the women that have come here. And I've also been able to see directly the help that all of you have done for the people down in Nicaragua and the friendships that have been formed. Certainly my life has been changed forever in my connection with Compas and the people of Nicaragua. I first went down in 2000 and I've been down many times since. It's an amazing, heartwarming experience to go there. So I would urge any of you, there are many ways you can be involved with Compas, and if you haven't gone down to Nicaragua, I would suggest that you do. Your life would be changed forever. I'm really proud of the work that Anne and my brother have done in Compas and really proud of all that he's accomplished.
I don't think when we first went we had any idea of the impact that this organization could have on a neighborhood, on a country, on the farming project in La Paz.
Pues ahora desde el año 2000 yo estoy trabajando con ellos y con el proyecto de Mujeres en Acción. Mujeres en Acción nace en el año 2000 cuando nosotros pensábamos que queríamos hacer algo por la comunidad en el área más empobrecida del barrio La Primavera.
In the year 2000, I began living here full-time in Nicaragua and working for Compas de Nicaragua. That same year, we founded Compas as an official nonprofit organization and began working with Women in Action in La Primavera. We were also able to expand our work and begin to offer several service trips each year from organizations, high schools, universities.
Yo soy de un pueblo pequeño, pequeño como un gorrión, con medio siglo de sueños, de vergüenza y de valor. Yo soy de un pueblo sencillo como la palabra Juan, como el amor que yo entrego, como el amor que me dan. Yo soy de un pueblo nacido entre fusil y cantar, que de tanto haber sufrido tiene mucho que enseñar. Hermano de tantos pueblos que han querido separar, porque saben que aún pequeños juntos somos un volcán. Porque saben que aún pequeños juntos somos un volcán.
Hi, my name is Tim Boudreau, Mike's older brother. Very proud of Compas and Mike, of course, and everything that he and Ann and everyone else involved has done over the years. One memory that I'll share, which has been a lot of fun for us here in New Hampshire, is when the Nicaraguan dancers come to visit. Oftentimes we'll host a Halloween gathering here at the house, my wife Judy and I. And the dancers have a lot of fun dressing up, dancing, of course, and it's always a really fun get-together. As far as our trips to Nicaragua, they've been very rewarding. As many people have pointed out over the years, I find that they give us more than we give them. We get a lot out of the trips. It's definitely a life changer. In closing, I just want to say happy 25th anniversary to Compas. Congratulations. Looking forward to be involved in the future. And much love to everyone in Nicaragua.
I'm Arnie Alpert, and I live in Canterbury, New Hampshire, and I work in the New Hampshire office of the American Friends Service Committee. In the early 2000s, I think for 3 years in a row, we organized delegations that went to La Primavera and visited with Compas and Women in Action in Managua. And it was a great experience for me and a great experience for AFSC. and I think a really positive experience for the dozens of people who were able to participate. My strong memories are of the women, and I'd say especially the children of the neighborhood, playing games with them in the streets, watching them dance, but also listening to the stories that they told about their lives. I have very strong memories of listening to young women who were working in the apparel factories in the free trade zones, talking about their long hours, the difficult working conditions, the denial of their rights for health care, and the denial of their rights to be organized in unions, but how nevertheless they found ways to stand up for what they needed. We were also able to meet with people who were struggling against the privatization of water, people working on environmental issues, people working to try to promote sustainable, ecologically sound types of development in urban and rural areas. On the whole, it was a great experience. I certainly hope that I'll get back there someday in the not too distant future, and strongly encourage others to support and participate in programs offered by Compas.
Elliott, and I'm from Canterbury, New Hampshire. I have visited with Women in Action and Compas 3 or 4 times, and it has been a really life-changing experience for me. I had been an activist for a number of years working to end U.S. imperialism in Central America, but I had never before I visited Compas, I had never actually had the time to live in a working class neighborhood or get to know working people in Central America, so it was an extraordinary experience. Of course, we loved the women and the kids in Women in Action, but I also have to say that the experience of living with a family in the neighborhood of Primavera was just an outstanding experience. We stayed for several years in the house of Doña Tere and her very large family, and an incredible family. It was amazing to see how they interacted with each other, made do in really hard times. So we developed a really warm relationship with them, and it's one of my favorite memories.
Hello everyone, this is Chris Given-Wilson and Alice Curtis talking to you from Scotland.
We've been visiting the Women in Action project in La Primavera almost every year since we first came in 2004.
We always get such a warm welcome when we come to La Primavera, and really it's amazing to think that the hall where we always have our welcome meetings now wasn't even built the first time we came.
And our interest there has always been in particular with the sponsorship program, which started just a couple of years before we first visited. And it's been so lovely to see the children there growing into such fine young people. And so we just want to congratulate you on all your achievements. So congratulations to all the women and all the children, and to Mike and Anna.
And happy 25th anniversary, and we hope we'll see you again soon.
Hi, my name is Bill Cuff. I'm a volunteer with Unlimited Possibilities, and before that with Danny's team. 2 all-volunteer groups that have sent several delegations to work with Compas de Nicaragua groups down in Nicaragua. And maybe the best way I can pay tribute is to tell a story. So here's a story about Econem. This picture is over a decade old. She's helping our friend Steve build shelves for the Women in Action's co-op store so they can sell donated used clothes dirt cheap to women who live on dirt floors. 5 years later, Econem came to the U.S. to perform Nicaraguan folklore dances to raise money for the WIA co-op. All the dances were great, but Econem caused people to cheer. This is a picture of a group of us planting a memorial garden in Econem's name. Econem isn't in this picture. A few years ago, she got very sick. They diagnosed that her kidneys had failed due to a condition from birth that also led to her having an enlarged heart. That part of the diagnosis came as no surprise to anyone. Everyone who ever met Econem knew she had a big heart. A group of us began saving for a kidney transplant, but she died before we could make that miracle happen. I heard that she told the Mujeres en Acción not to use the little money for her medical care that they were saving, but to use it for their families instead. The only time I saw Ekanem cry was when Marlene said she would give her one of her own kidneys, but that Marlene was too old and they wouldn't accept it. I don't think that Ekanem was crying that she couldn't have the kidney, but rather because her grandmother had offered it. Although I was 3 times her age, I told people I wanted to be just like Ekanem when I grow up, and I still feel that way. Ekanem is a part of one of the finest collections of people who walk this earth, Las Mujeres en Acción.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Eda, tengo 40 años, soy una miembro de Mujeres en Acción y queremos darle felicidades a Compas de Nicaragua por su 25 aniversario. Nosotras nos sentimos muy orgullosas de toda la ayuda que nos han brindado, ¿verdad? Y así como nos brindan a nosotros, también nos ayudan a nuestros niños a que asistan al colegio y muchas actividades que hacemos acá. Si no son ustedes, ¿verdad?, quienes nos están apoyando, primeramente Dios, ¿verdad?, que sigan apoyándonos y muchas gracias.
Hola, mi nombre es Leslie. Le damos gracias primeramente a Dios y a Compas de Nicaragua. Los felicitamos por cumplir su 25 aniversario. Y gracias porque gracias a ellos hemos tenido mucho logro aquí en el proyecto. Ya vamos a cumplir 16 años de estar aquí en el proyecto y hemos logrado muchas cosas con los niños, con los proyectos que hay aquí en el proyecto Mujeres en Acción. Y muchas felicidades y espero en Dios que cumpla muchos años más Compas de Nicaragua. Gracias.
Mi nombre es Marta Centeno y quiero felicitar a Compas de Nicaragua en su 25 aniversario y agradecerle por su gran apoyo. Y pues nosotros como mujeres hemos tenido muchos logros con el proyecto y también, ¿verdad? Ya vamos a cumplir 16 años en el proyecto y estamos muy felices de siempre seguir unidos en el proyecto y muchas gracias por su apoyo, porque verdaderamente si no fuera sido por el proyecto no fuéramos podido sacar adelante a nuestra familia. Y gracias y felicidades.
Doy las gracias a Compas de Nicaragua por estar celebrando su 25 aniversario, ya que gracias a ellos estamos nosotros en este programa también y vamos a cumplir 16 años de estar en este proyecto y gracias por apoyarnos y que sigamos de frente.
My name is Ryan. I'm the dean at Rock Point School in Burlington, Vermont. And about 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to go to Nicaragua with Compas de Nicaragua, where I joined my husband, who is a teacher at Mount Mansfield Union High School. A couple of years later, I was able to bring my family as well as Rock Point School students to be engulfed in a culture that we knew nothing about, to build relationships with kind, caring people who opened their homes to us and let us move alongside of them and their families as they lived their daily life. We worked through Women in Action, which was absolutely amazing to be part of for both the high school students that we brought there, as well as for my own children who have gone to Nicaragua for a few years now as well. So it is an amazing program.
My name is Isaac and I've been to Nicaragua 3 times. I loved it, I learned a lot. There was lots of kids that I could play with and we traded baseball cards.
Hi, my name is Douglas Haynes. I'm a professor of English at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh and a member of the Compas de Nicaragua Board of Directors since 2009. I first became acquainted with Compas in 2007 when Ana Narvaez and Mike Boudreau visited New England College, where I was teaching at the time. And I was immediately struck by Mike and Anna's energy and enthusiasm and commitment to building an organization through relationships from the ground up, through relationships with people that they serve in Nicaragua, but also through relationships with people in the United States and the United Kingdom as a collaborative effort to make lives better for everyone. When I had the opportunity to take my own students to Nicaragua to work with Compas in 2008, I jumped at the chance, and I was even more impressed with the organization when I got there. My students were transformed in a very short time through the activities and work projects that they undertook with people in Women in Action and through their day-to-day experiences with their host families. I've returned to Nicaragua 11 times as a teacher with students again, and also as a writer and volunteer with Compas. Over these years, I felt very privileged to get to know on the ground the ways that Compas changes Nicaraguans' daily lives. Women in Action, for example, the Soy Food Project, the microloans, the school sponsorships, the housing assistance. I've witnessed the ways all of these things have made people's daily lives better and helped them better provide for their families. And also given a sense of community that is palpable when you arrive at Women in Action. Similarly, I've had the chance to talk to the farmers that Compas works with in La Paz de Carazo, and I've been impressed by the ways that they describe how Compas's projects have helped them diversify their farms to become more economically and ecologically sustainable.
Hi, I'm Bob Clay. My wife and I, Jane, brought 8 students to Nicaragua in February 2015, and it was a life-changing experience for everybody in the party. The students who went with us were totally amazed at how different a lifestyle it was that people live in Nicaragua, and with education that we had prior to going and after going, have a better understanding of why Nicaragua is the way it is. It being a life-changing experience for kids, I recommend it to anybody who would like to expand their horizons and see that there is more in the world than what we deal with here in the United States.
Is the ways that Compas changes and creates a sense of community, empowerment, and solidarity where it works, both in the United States, in the UK, and in Nicaragua, most importantly. This spirit has really inspired me and driven me over the years to get involved more. Compas's work, when you have the opportunity to get to know it and get involved and continue the great traditions that Anna and Mike have started and the community growth that they've created in Managua and in La Paz de Carazo. Congratulate them on 25 years of Compas de Nicaragua, and I hope for many, many more years of collaboration. Thanks.
To me, the most important thing has always been the friendship building, the sharing, the linking of our two cultures.
Got the opportunity to build a biogas system. Very thankful for that, and my host family has been great. Came out here not even speaking Spanish, and I'm already learning. Best opportunity of my life, and enjoying myself. Love Nicaragua.
Y al principio cuando Miguel dijo, bueno, van a venir grupos del extranjero, no sabíamos qué hacer o qué pensar. Es algo muy interesante porque entre el trabajo, entre la sonrisa, entre los gestos, nos damos a entender muchas cosas bonitas. En el campo y tenemos ya el cuerpo acostumbrado a trabajar, pero al hacerlo con diferentes grupos, viene a ser más dinámico, más divertido, más emocionante.
Para nosotros las bienvenidas son muy felices, pero
Es un poco triste cuando vienen las despedidas, cuando ellos ya tienen que llegar a sus lugares.
Sí, cuando ellos vienen, platicamos, nos gusta platicar con ellos, nos gusta reír, nos gusta bailar y todo, y lo esperamos siempre y que sigan viniendo. Gracias.
I came here thinking, all right, I'm gonna change someone's life, make things better for somebody, and they definitely gave me more than I was able to give them.
I thought, wow, when I go there and I see how these people live, I'm gonna feel so good about when I go home. Wow, I'm so lucky. And it's funny because the tables kind of turn because I'm looking at them going, wow, they're so lucky.
The parents love their children and they want them to have a future better than what they've had, and that connects us all.
We're here to service them, but it was almost a reverse effect. They're just happy that we were here.
Tenemos muchísimo que agradecer, tenemos mucho que agradecer a todas las personas que nos han venido a apoyar de una u de otra manera. Compas de Nicaragua, queremos decirle a todas las personas que han estado involucradas en Compas de Nicaragua, que ustedes, todos ustedes, han hecho un gran cambio en la vida de las personas aquí en Nicaragua, en nuestra comunidad. Estamos muy agradecidos. Dios los va a bendecir a ustedes y les va a reproducir al 1000 por 1. Muchísimas gracias, Compas de Nicaragua.
Hey everyone, my name's Paul Baker Hernandez. I'd like to echo what so many other people have said in this presentation, that Compas is an amazing organization. I won't go on because it has to be, reasonable in terms of length. We could all go on forever. But I'd just like to say there are two things, or two realities that brought me to Nicaragua. One is the music, and the other is Ash. So more in the reality of person. Yeah? So in his honor, I'm wearing his hat. And also in his honor, and in the honor of all of you, we can maybe sing together, Nicaragua, Nicaragüita, in its original Spanish, and also in a version in English. Ay, Nicaragua, Nicaragüita, flor más linda de mi carrera, abonada con la bendita Nicaragüita, sangre de tierra. Ay, Nicaragua, sos más dulcita que la mielita de Tamagás. Pero ahora que ya sos libre, Nicaragüita, yo te quiero mucho más. Pero ahora que ya sos libre, Nicaragüita, yo te quiero mucho más. Oh, Nicaragua, Nicaragüita, lovely flower, flower of my heart, overflowing with purest waters, Nicaragüita, the blood of Dirian hand. You're so much sweeter than all the honey of Tamacas. But now, my darling, my Nicaraguita, now that you've freedom, my love for you can blaze out like fire. And now, my darling, my Nicaraguita, now that you've freedom, my love for you will blaze out like fire. Felicidades, compas.
From the shores of Milton Three Ponds in New Hampshire to the shores of Lake Managua in Nicaragua, happy 25th anniversary to Compas de Nicaragua from Unlimited Possibilities. May you continue to show the world how to handle poverty and oppression and how best to live our lives. Happy anniversary.
Hola chicos de Compas de Nicaragua, muchísimas felicidades y espero que no cumplamos solamente 25 ni 16 en Mujeres en Acción, sino muchísimos más. Felicidades.
I'm thrilled to be able to say happy 25th anniversary to Compas de Nicaragua. It's done amazing work, and Primavera will always be my little home away from home. So happy 25th.
I feel that it's just blessed so many people in so many different ways, and we're very proud of it. As a family, we really love what's happened and wish the happiest of happy 25th anniversaries to the organization, and may it have many, many more wonderful, productive years.
Yo soy de un pueblo pequeño, pequeño como un gorrión, con medio siglo de sueños, de vergüenza y de valor. Yo soy de un pueblo sencillo como la palabra Juan, como el amor que yo entrego, como el amor que me dan. Yo soy de un pueblo nacido entre fusil y cantar, que de tanto haber sufrido tiene mucho que enseñar. Hermano de tantos pueblos que han querido separar.